What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Leo coming to you guys with yet another video. Coming to you guys today with another reaction. We recently been doing a series with the Cultaholic best WWE matches of previous year series, but now we're doing worst WWE matches series. Now we recently checked out worst matches of 2014, and today we're checking out 10 worst WWE matches of 2015. This year was kind of interesting because we did see some matches that weren't really the best, and some of them weren't because the talent involved, mainly because the match just wasn't that good, the best. The way they booked the people involved weren't the best, and I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna be mostly women matches, no disrespect, but at the same time they weren't really taking the women's matches seriously like they should have, but we'll see nonetheless. Comment down below, let me know what match you think are going to be the worst on this list. But let's get into it and see what Cultaholic deems worst WWE matches of 2015.
When it comes to the 2010s, many make the argument that 2015 was the best year for WWE in the entire decade. WrestleMania 31 was a smash hit, John Cena went on a tear with his United States title open challenge, Daniel Bryan returned to the ring, although not for too long sadly. But despite all this good stuff, 2015 also had its fair share of failures. Whilst there are some regular old bad matches on this list, a lot of the entries we're about to go through were more disappointing, a victim of bad booking rather than bad wrestling. 2015 seemed to be the year of so close and yet so far in WWE, with matches starting off with all the promise in the world and then ending up falling at the final hurdle, trying to get back up and falling over a different hurdle that wasn't even supposed to be there. Anyway, now that complicated metaphor is out the way, I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are the 10 worst WWE matches of 2015. Join us. Number 10, Seth Rollins vs. John Cena at SummerSlam.
Okay.
As we've seen throughout this series of lists.
This one is good. The match was good. I think the reason why I think a lot of people consider it the worst match is because of the ending with, I don't know his name, but he'll probably mention it later in the video. But the match was really good. It's just the ending was not. Kind of killed the match to where people that look back on the match, they don't look at it from the in-ring quality, which was good. They only look at it because of the ending and what happened and stuff like that. So it kind of diminished everything that happened, for sure.
Sometimes all it takes to turn a great match into a terrible one is a really bad finish. United States Champion John Cena was putting his belt on the line against WWE Champion Seth Rollins in a winner-takes-all contest. It was pushed as one of the biggest matches on the card, and the action more than delivered on this promise, until Jon Stewart turned up. The former host of The Daily Show got into the ring after a ref bump and teased hitting Rollins with a chair. In a twist that nobody saw coming, or wanted, Stewart hit Cena instead, allowing Seth to retain. A great match between two top wrestlers was completely ruined by WWE trying to get some mainstream attention. The fact that it was for not one but two championships was the final insult.
Yeah, it was kind of an insult, but the match was good, like I said, but
can make you change
kind of
Number 9, Big Show vs. Ryback at Money in the Bank.
Brother, this has the just looking at the match and who's involved alone, you can see that this is definitely going to be on the worst matches of 2015. Just saying.
Bank. In a match we will absolutely be getting to later, Ryback won his first and only championship in WWE when he captured the IC title in May 2015. For some reason, WWE thought the best way to hide the big guy's weaknesses in the ring would be to put him in a feud with The Big Show, who probably wasn't the best matchup for him, to be honest. Their bout at Money in the Bank got off to a pretty decent start, with both men hitting their signature power moves straight away, but it soon slowed right back down to a much more lethargic pace. Ryback even attempted an armbar, which, well, let's just say he's no Ronda Rousey. Just when it looked like Show had the match won, The Miz ran in and hit him with a microphone. The A-lister had been getting involved in both men's business in previous weeks and had been attacked by Ryback while on commentary for this match. A DQ finish on a pay-per-view to set up a match at another pay-per-view is always frustrating, but it's even worse when the action that preceded it wasn't even that good. Number 8, Dolph Ziggler vs. Sheamus at Extreme Rules.
This is another one that wasn't good either. And I thought it had potential, and I think this was a stipulation match. I think this was the Kiss Me Arse match. I think, but that wasn't really a good match, honestly. We know Dolph Ziggler's good when Sheamus is given something really good to work with and good material. It could be good as well. And unfortunately, that was not the case here.
The Celtic Warrior made his return from injury the night after WrestleMania 31 with a new attitude and a mohawk that could be seen from space. The future leader of the Brawling Brutes set his sights on Dolph Ziggler, and the two were scheduled to face off at Extreme Rules in a Kiss Me Arse match. Not a Kiss My Ass match, a Kiss Me Arse match. Wow. It's a match name that was possibly only created because Vince McMahon thought Sheamus spoke funny. WWE had done plenty of bum-related matches in the Attitude Era, usually as an excuse to push the women's division back a few years or because Rikishi needed a payday. But those times were long gone in 2015, and fans were less than thrilled at the prospect of seeing one wrestler kiss another's backside against his will. The actual match was fine, with Ziggler scoring the win, but then Sheamus beat him up and shoved his ass in his face anyway, so the whole thing was utterly pointless. Good stuff. Number 7, Seth Rollins vs. Sting at Night of Champions.
On the surface, this had potential to be a really good match. Because you had Sting, coming off his WrestleMania loss against Triple H and still kind of being involved in this storyline with the Authority and everything like that. And him returning, and the way they had him return and the way that they did to set up a match between him and Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship and his first time competing for that title, and the fact that if he won would have been a huge deal because he would have been tired, because it would have also made Seth Rollins look strong because he was tired, because right before his match he competed against John Cena for the US Championship, which he lost, and then it would have proceeded to this match right after. So it could have been a great way to kind of crown a new champion if they really wanted to.
Steve Borden does not age like normal men if his run in AEW is anything to go by. These days, Sting is consistently pulling off incredible feats and taking bumps that would make some wrestlers half his age wince. All of this is even more amazing when you consider we thought he was done for good after Night of Champions 2015. After unsuccessfully defending the US Championship against John Cena, Seth Rollins then had to put the WWE title on the line on the same night against the Stinger. After some great action, Sting got hit with a buckle bomb from Rollins that legitimately injured his neck. He finished the match, but looked like he was struggling the entire time. He was pinned by Rollins in a roll-up, and if you listen closely, you can actually hear the Architect apologizing. Sting's injury put a massive downer on this match, and things got even worse when it was revealed that he was forced to retire because of it. Fortunately, the Icon has now made a full recovery, which thankfully takes the edge off this incident ever so slightly, but still, at the time, it was not pretty.
Hey, did you know you might get a big cash payout if you were in a car accident last year?
And I remember watching it too.
Even if you
Number 6, The Ascension versus the New Age Outlaws at the Royal Rumble. When Connor and
you knew this match was going to be in there. It's just because of the talent involved. I'm sorry. The New Age Outlaws weren't really doing it for me in 2015, honestly. And the Ascension, it's the Ascension. They barely could get a win to save their life, honestly.
and Victor made their WWE main roster debuts by picking on iconic tag teams, fans were concerned that the former NXT Tag Team Champions were just being used as fodder for older stars. That is exactly what happened on the January 19th edition of Raw, when they were completely jobbed out by the NWO, the APA, and the New Age Outlaws. Connor and Victor got their asses handed to them that night, which made it very hard to get invested in their match at the Royal Rumble against Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. The Outlaws were still in decent shape at this point, especially Big Billy, but the match was still a slog. Apart from the opening shtick, nothing about this encounter sparked much excitement, and the Ascension getting the win meant very little. A win over the New Age Outlaws should have been like rocket fuel for the younger duo, but due to a forgettable match and that disastrous segment on Raw, the Ascension's rockets never left the launch pad. Number 5, Eva Marie versus Billie Kay on NXT.
Eva Marie just... Oh my god. Ugh.
Eva Marie is good at lots of things. She's good at dyeing her hair, at coming up with excuses to get out of matches, and probably other things too. To be honest, we didn't really see her do much else in her 2 stints with WWE. In September 2015, Eva was taking on a pre-Iconics Billie Kay in a match that lasted less than 4 minutes. However, almost miraculously, Eva managed to botch nearly every single move she did in that time. The match is perhaps most famous, or should I say infamous, for Eva forgetting to kick out after being hit with a suplex by Kay. The referee had to visibly slow down his count so that Eva could get her shoulder off the mat in time, and the fans absolutely blasted her with boos as a result of this mistake. To many, this was the perfect example of WWE's looks over skill hiring policy that plagued its women's division for so many years. We would like to say that Eva Marie got better after this stinker, but let's move on.
If you're not a profitable trader, after working with me in 8 weeks, I will personally hand you $7,000. And I'm
Before, the Brothers of Destruction versus the Wyatt family at
I thought this was really going to be good. The story that they've been telling, I thought this was really going to be good, honestly. And it just felt like a letdown in all honesty, because I feel like they just, I don't know what it was. They just didn't, it didn't hit. I don't know what it was. It just didn't deliver like I thought it would be, or like the fans thought. It just felt like it kind of just dropped the ball on it to an extent.
Survivor Series. The entirety of Survivor Series 2015 was marketed around it being 25 years since the debut of The Undertaker. The dead man took center stage on the event's poster and was put into a special match alongside his half-brother Kane as the demonic duo did battle with the Wyatt family. This all came about after Bray and his henchmen kidnapped Taker following his Hell in a Cell match against Brock Lesnar. This led to the Brothers of Destruction teaming up to take on Wyatt and Luke Harper in a tag team match that was unfortunately quite an anticlimax. The wrestling was fine and nobody really got anything wrong, but it was just too paint by numbers. For a match that had been so majorly hyped, fans were expecting a bit more from WWE here. Instead, they got a run-of-the-mill tag team match that wouldn't have looked out of place in the middle of Monday Night Raw. Between this and the weird segment they did for his 30th anniversary, WWE really don't know how to celebrate The Undertaker at Survivor Series, do they? Number 3, Goldust vs Stardust at Fastlane.
Goldust vs Stardust, not good. Cody Rhodes versus his brother at Double or Nothing, I believe was 2019. Now that was good. Now that's what you call a brother versus brother match.
The Rhodes brothers have both been through their fair share of nonsense throughout their careers, and this match from Fastlane 2015 really exemplifies that. Performing under their Goldust and Stardust monikers, Cody and Dustin had been slowly drifting apart until the former attacked the latter on Raw. This led to what should have been a highly emotional encounter between the two brothers, but what we got instead was an underwhelming contest with a botched ending. The offense in this match never reached the levels it should have. This was literally a blood feud, and the pair should have torn each other apart. Instead, we got a bunch of grandstanding during which the occasional wrestling match broke out. The dodgy finish came when Goldie pinned his brother with a crucifix and Cody kicked out at 2. Except he didn't because the bell rang. Except he did because we all saw it. What? This underwhelming finish to an underwhelming match ensured that a Rhodes vs Rhodes feud would never happen again in WWE. But hey, to be honest, these two probably aren't even capable of having a good match together. Isn't that right, AEW? Number 2, the Intercontinental Championship Elimination Chamber at Elimination Chamber.
Don't get me wrong. I love the Intercontinental Championship. I love Elimination Chamber matches. On paper, them crowning a new Intercontinental Champion inside the Elimination Chamber structure, I like the idea. The execution, handled poorly. Honestly, this might be a hot take. This was the worst Elimination Chamber match ever. And I'm pretty sure there's going to probably be some people that's going to probably say there's been some more. And there probably is. But as far as I can see, this is definitely going to be the worst. Or at least has to be up there with the worst of all time. Easily.
Told you we'd get here, because how could we not? Both of the namesake matches at Elimination Chamber.
Here, I think Mark Henry, his pod got opened earlier than expected, so it had to change the entire course of the match. So it's like, yeah, the entire thing just was not good at all. I'm sorry.
The 2015 were a bit rough. The tag team chamber match earlier in the night was too cluttered, but that was Steamboat versus Savage compared to this hot mess. First of all, exciting rising star Rusev was replaced by Mark Henry before the match even started. Big shoes for an aging Henry to fill. Things got worse when he was accidentally released early from his pod. The world's strongest man proceeded to look very confused as the other wrestlers tried to work out a new layout on the fly with about as much subtlety as a shotgun blast. Seriously, you can hear Dolph Ziggler yelling spots at the top of his voice. Unfortunately, the match never recovered, and not even fan favourite Ryback winning the IC title could get fans properly back on its side. It was a bad one, but not the worst. Number 1, the Royal Rumble match at the Royal Rumble. They booed The Rock. This match was so bad that people booed The Rock. How does that even happen? At the 2015 Royal Rumble, wrestling fans were still recovering from the disappointment of not seeing Daniel Bryan win the previous year's edition. That night, ironically, ended with fans booing Batista for eliminating
This wasn't a good Rumble, bro. 2014 and 2015 are just not good Rumbles, man. You got 2 winners that nobody wanted year after year. And the thing is, if you want to be honest, people wanted Daniel Bryan in 2014 and 2015. No one else. People probably would have wanted other people, but Roman Reigns was not it. Batista, not it. People wanted to see Daniel Bryan win in 2014. If he didn't win in 2015, when he came in and people saw him, people were clamoring to see him be the one to win it. And when he got eliminated early on in the match, people were pissed. People weren't having it. And it kind of just turned people off from the rest of the match because nobody cared. And then you had other people come in that people probably would have not been upset with winning, like Dean Ambrose or aka Jon Moxley when he came in at number 25. And people wanted to see that, but that wasn't. He got eliminated, I think, in the Final 4 when it was him, Roman, Final 5 actually, because it was him, Roman, Big Show, Kane, and Rusev. And Rusev was on the outside. He came back in after Roman came in and eliminated those two. And then The Rock came in to kind of help him even out the odds against Kane and Big Show. That was probably used to help him get more over. But it didn't work. It didn't work because people weren't buying into Roman Reigns at this time. Nobody cared.
Roman Reigns. 1 year later, and things were very, very different. Not only did Bryan not win the match again, but the Rumble was instead won by the symbol of everything fans had grown to hate about WWE. Reigns was the chosen one, the hand-picked representative of management who would win whether we liked it or not. Seeing him punch his ticket to WrestleMania was too much for many fans who were already sick of Roman being pushed above his station. The live crowd absolutely mutinied against this finish, showering the future tribal chief with a chorus of boos. Not even a surprise appearance from Dwayne could save the day. I mean, just look at his face when he realizes what's going on. Says it all. Not only did WWE set in motion a catastrophic chain of events with this decision, but they also ruined the best match of the year. For a second year in a row, too. Suffering succotash.
Yep, like I said, it just didn't work. People weren't buying into the idea of Roman Reigns being this new baby face that people wanted. It just wasn't gonna happen. You can tell, like, even in 2014, people weren't really buying into it. Yeah, he was getting cheers, but if you think about his character, it was mainly catered to the kids, honestly, because the kids were, like, really into Roman for sure. But the adults, they were not having it. No, absolutely not. They did not want it. But comment down below, let me know, what do you feel like are the worst matches of 2015 if they were on this list, and if they weren't on this list, let me know what they are in your opinion in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the, and stuff like that. Road to 350 subscribers, but the ultimate goal is 10K. When I do hit 10K, I will do a giveaway with one of my lucky subscribers. We'll have the opportunity to win a WWE Championship from WWE Shops. If you want to have the opportunity to be a part of that, subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. You can always change your mind in the future. But while you're going to do it, I'm trying to give you guys daily wrestling content. The grind does not stop. Super kick that like button. Helps my channel get pushed across the platform so more people can see what I'm doing over here on YouTube. Superman Punch, that post notification bells around time, post a new video with a reaction video, rant video, live stream, any sub video. You can be in the loop of things when I do drop a video, and speed of the subscribe button. It takes 3 seconds out of your day to do those 3 things for me, helps in the progression of my channel. But I appreciate everybody that tunes in, shows love, and all that good stuff. I can't do this without you guys. You guys make it possible. But with that being said, hope everybody has a great day, have a great week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.